Hello, everyone. All right, so first I should apologize. I told you guys we're gonna do all these videos, and then I went on like a week hiatus. A, I was working on some stuff for these videos, but B, I got stuck in paperwork land, and it's not a land that I enjoy. So between taxes, we're getting audited, it's just all the good stuff that I really dislike. So when you guys jump on here, give me a hello, give me a heads up. Yeah, just want to know what you guys are up to. So I'll waste a little bit of time while you guys are jumping on. Hi, Keelan. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Joseph. I posted a video, a couple weeks ago about like what's your biggest nutrition question. And what I got out of that, you guys, was that at the end of everything, when everything was said and done, there's a lot of questions. What's the best diet? Who should I listen to? Yada, yada, yada. Not yada, 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 but you know what I mean. So what I decided is that I think we should start with the basics. We actually have a presentation that we do for companies, for schools, for that kind of stuff. We titled it Have Your Cake and Results Too. But the whole basic idea is we're going to go through kind of the basics of like our top 3 things of what you need to have a good nutrition plan, and then at the end of that we'll talk about exactly what you need specific to you. Okay, so it takes us about an hour and 20 minutes live, so I'm going to break that up into 5-minute chunks. That's my goal, because you all don't have that much time in your life. I will do a webinar if you guys want me to and do the whole thing at once, but for now I'm going to do it in chunks. Okay, so I have these fancy little printed out slides. That's usually a PowerPoint that will be backwards for all of you. I learned this before, did this whole thing. So anyway, have your cake and results too. So we say the goals for our workshop, you guys, is to go over Nutrition 101. So I realize so much that people don't know just the basics of nutrition. Okay, so Nutrition 101 includes what are calories, what are macronutrients, what are micronutrients, okay? So that's what we're going to cover today, and then the idea of what does diet mean, and then the 5 ingredients that we think you need to be successful, which are quality, quantity, timing, consistency, and movement, okay? So this is based mostly on nutrition, not so much on exercise, okay? So what I want to talk about today is just the basics, like what is a calorie? And so I think, when I talk about like stuff like this, people are like, oh, calories are evil, right? Like, you gotta have less calories, you gotta count your calories, you gotta do all this and that. And trust me, I used to count way too many calories in my life. But what is a calorie? All a calorie is, you guys, is a unit of measure, okay? So it's a unit of energy that your body uses, okay? So there's 4, yes, 4, not 3, macronutrients that have energy, okay? So 1 gram, I'll let you guys see this for a second. Can you even read it? Probably not. Okay, so 1 gram. So what are they? So protein, carbs, fat, and sadly alcohol is its own thing. Okay, so when we're talking about grams of energy, 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. Okay, 1 gram of carbohydrates is also 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9. So think about that. And 1 gram of alcohol is 7. So what does that mean? That means that when you're eating fat or drinking alcohol, it's a lot more dense than if you're doing protein or carbohydrates, okay? So 4 for protein and carbs, 9 for fat, 7 for alcohol, okay? So that's basic, just in energy, what is a calorie, okay? If you guys have questions, do drop them in the box. I'll be happy to answer these as we go along, okay? But like I said, starting super, super basic with nutrition. So what is a calorie? That is calorie. Makes me laugh because we have an ice cream cone and an apple. So that would be fat, carbs, a little bit of protein. But, okay, so macronutrients. So if you hear people say all the time, like they're counting macros, and you're like, I don't even know what that means. So that means that back in the day, the big thing was counting calories, right? It was calories in, calories out. If you burn more than you use, you would lose weight, right? If only it was that simple, that would be amazing, right? We could all eat 1,500 calories of chocolate cake and still lose weight because that's all it means. But it's not, okay? So, probably 3 or 4 years back, the idea of counting macros got really big. I know in the CrossFit world, and then just sort of mainstream, or maybe it was mainstream and then it came to CrossFit. I don't know. But the idea was that if you did your macros, you had a set number of protein specific to what you needed. You have a set number of carbohydrates and a set number of fat, okay, that you need to get every day. And then the idea was you could eat less clean, okay, this is from a lot of us that was coming from the paleo world. You could eat less clean as long as you stuck to your macros. So I still think macros are great. I think for a lot of people, it's, just macros are super easy because it gives you a little more freedom. And with your macros, usually if you make better decisions, like if you eat broccoli, you're going to be way less hungry than if you choose an ice cream cone, right? So the idea of macros was really good in that you could count your protein, your carbs, and your fat. And as long as you hit those numbers, it would work. Now, Does it work? Yes, there is some truth to that. Absolutely. You definitely get quantity when you do macros, maybe not necessarily quality, but you can do both, okay? So that's what your macronutrients are, okay? And then there's micronutrients, which is why we're so big on eating your vegetables, eating your fruit, eating all of that stuff, because that's where your vitamins, your minerals, your enzymes, all that little stuff that really, really, really matters in your body, that's where that stuff all lives, usually, okay? So calories are unit of energy, okay? Macronutrients, protein, carbohydrates, fat. Alcohol is a unit of energy, but not a macronutrient, okay? So like when we do macros with people, you have to count your alcohol as either a fat or a carb, okay? So you have to, I can teach how to do that if you guys want to do that, but that's the basic concept there. Micronutrients are going to be all the vitamins, minerals, and all that kind of stuff that your body needs, okay? Does anyone have any questions about those two things? Because if you don't, I'll go on, because this is pretty short. Okay, pretty simple? All right. So we often ask, and I actually shared this in a video I did last year, which is funny. I feel like I talk about the same thing all the time, but I think it's good because obviously it matters. So the idea of what's a diet, right? So what is your diet? When I say diet, most people are like, yeah, diet, I don't really want a diet, right? Like I remember the word diet from way back in the day when my mom did Weight Watchers when I was like 10, which is funny now, you guys, because I remember my mom's 40th birthday and it was this big over-the-hill party, and she was like, in my head, seemed old, and that was about the time my mom was doing Weight Watchers. I'm now 41. I don't feel anywhere close to what age she was. But anyway, that I digress. But when we hear the word diet, most people think restriction, they think something negative, they think all those things, okay? I want you guys to think, and I hate using the word diet because of those connotations, because they still happen in my life too. So all your diet is, though, you guys, is what you eat. So if you eat McDonald's every day, you're on a diet of McDonald's, okay? If you eat chips and salsa, you're on a diet of chips and salsa. Your diet is just simply what macro and micronutrients you're putting into your body. It's not a loaded emotional response, okay? It might be, but it's not, okay? So that's what a diet is. Really, for us, you guys, we want your nutrition to, to be something that brings health and wellness to your body, and not something that takes away, okay? So, let's see, what else? What does diet mean? Obviously, everyone is different. It does not equal restriction. This is one thing that I love the most. The best diet is the one that you can follow under the hardest circumstances, right? We say this in our 6-week challenge meetings. I can give you the best plan ever, but if you can't stick to it, it doesn't matter. And there's a little comic I should show you guys, but it's a guy sitting at the doctor, and it says, I ate a carrot once and nothing happened, right? Sometimes we feel that way. So you can have the best plan ever, but if you can't stick to it, then it's the worst plan ever. Like I can give you all the tools in the shed, but if you can't use them, then it doesn't do any good, okay? So, and then what does diet mean for us? It's something that promotes health, wellness, and longevity, okay? It shouldn't be something, there are short-term cuts and things like that where you're trying to get to a certain goal, but long-term your diet should be something that is maintainable, and that you can do forever, okay? So, I think that is all I'm going to cover today. So tomorrow we're going to go over what does that mean, okay? What does that mean when we talk about diet? What does it mean to be sustainable, create wellness, and create health? Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. This was day 1. I don't know how many days this is going to take us, and I might intermittently sprinkle some of last year's videos on you guys. I did a 21-day Nutrition Academy, and a lot of them were, I think, really, really helpful. So I think that one's on day 4. So you guys might get some live videos and some sprinkled in videos on there if I think they help. So if you guys have questions, let me know. Thanks for jumping on. I will not be on hiatus anymore, I promise. So hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.